Here we go. 100% proof that Trump is not being controlled by Goldman Sachs. So let's start with the beginning. During the campaign, Goldman Sachs, how much money do you think they gave to Trump? If Trump is controlled by Goldman Sachs, don't you think Goldman Sachs would want Trump to win? So how much money do you think Goldman Sachs gave him as a company? Oh, that's right, none. How much did they give Hillary? Oh, that's right, 100% of their campaign financing went to Hillary Clinton, not Trump. Oh yeah, but that's right, they wanted Trump to win. It was just, who knows why they did that, right? Makes perfect sense. They just give away their money to Hillary and try to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get Hillary elected, but none to Trump. Oh yeah, they also had an internal memo telling their employees not to give to Trump. So not only did the company not give any money to Trump during the campaign, they wouldn't even allow their employees to give money, which is probably illegal, but they asked their employees not to give money to the Trump campaign. Number two, so, the bailouts, the Federal Reserve, and stuff like that, when they print money and loan it out at 0% interest, who do they loan it out to? They loan it out to giant banks, such as Goldman Sachs. They loan it out to about 6 giant banks. These giant banks then loan the money out to smaller banks at interest. Even though these giant banks receive the money at 0% interest, they loan it back out to other banks at interest, and then those other banks turn around and loan it out to the people at huge interest, like 30% interest at some of these payday advance places and stuff, even though they got their money at 0% interest. Now Trump, okay, so Trump wants to make it so that this 0% interest isn't just for the top 6 huge banks. He's talking about making it 0% interest for all the banks, the small guys, the little guys, the credit unions. And then the credit unions can turn around and loan it out to people at small interest. Now, it's dangerous because it creates a bubble, but it's better the bubble be on a small scale than just the huge banks. We'd rather have the bubble be for the people, not just for the giant banks. So, yeah, why would Goldman Sachs want that? You think Goldman Sachs wants little banks to get the 0% interest from the Federal Reserve? No. Why would they want that? That's stupid. They get it already. Why would they want it to be taken from them and given to the little guys? Why would they want the little guys to be in the same field, to have the same advantages as them? They wouldn't. So not only did they give zero money to Trump, Trump's plan for the Federal Reserve and for loaning out money is in direct conflict with their best interest. So you got that, So now about his cabinet picks, about having people that worked for Goldman Sachs on his cabinet picks. Well, let's just do a little experiment here. So let's say you are a successful person in money management, finance, and you're very successful. The chances of you not having worked for Goldman Sachs are pretty low. I mean, you've either worked, if you're in the finance industry and you're successful, you've probably either worked for Goldman Sachs or worked on something for Goldman Sachs in some way that you've probably been related to Goldman Sachs, whether you've worked for a company they own, you've worked directly for them, or whatever, so it's not really a big deal that they've worked for Goldman Sachs. Oh, he worked for Goldman Sachs. Well, Goldman Sachs is really good at what they do, right? Is their company moral? No, but is any corporation really moral? Not really. Corporations, morality seems to go out the window when you're dealing with corporations. So, does that mean that the people that made Goldman Sachs a ton of money are going to just say, okay, well, we're rich as shit, and now we're working for Trump, and we're just going to go ahead and just try to make Goldman Sachs even more money by loaning out money to small banks? Oh, yeah, that's right. That doesn't make Goldman Sachs more money. That's bad for everybody at Goldman Sachs. Has Goldman Sachs stock went up? Yes. But have all banks stocks went up? Pretty much, yeah. So it's not. He's obviously not controlled by Goldman Sachs. This is just ridiculous. Let's look at a couple other points. Like Trump is very nationalistic. He it's all over the world, the nationalistic movement. Companies are pulling out of unelected governments and going back to their elected officials because, like a bunch of unelected bureaucrats shouldn't really get control over our stuff. But it is in Goldman Sachs' interest to keep it like that. It is in Goldman Sachs' interest to have a unelected government controlling the people, because Goldman Sachs will be one of the main main controllers. I mean, if we're talking about unelected martial government, global government, you know, this shit's not. There's conspiracy theories. This is all admitted. I mean, global government is something that they've been talking about for a long time, and Goldman Sachs is definitely one of the people that would benefit from a global government, and they're definitely one of the people pushing for it. But yet, Trump wants nationalism. He wants borders. Goldman Sachs doesn't. So, like, come on now, guys. Like, everything he does is in direct conflict with Goldman Sachs' agenda. Everything he does is for the little banks, their competition, not for the big banks. He's trying to reinstate Glass-Steagall. Goldman Sachs probably doesn't really want that. You know, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So come on now, use your brain. Don't just say, oh, this guy worked for Goldman Sachs and he works for Trump, so Trump must be owned by Goldman Sachs. If Trump was owned by Goldman Sachs, don't you think Trump would be doing shit to benefit Goldman Sachs, not stuff that's in direct conflict with them? I mean, just use your head, people. Like, you guys are really, really nuts sometimes. But anyways, peace.